So, hi guys, how are you doing? It's your girl Alina, and this is Simply My Views. I'm back again with yet another topic. If you're new here, this channel is just a safe space where I come and talk about real life issues that I don't really hear a lot of conversation about. If you've already been here, I think you know, and let's get going. Okay, so not so long ago, I came here and did a bit of raw reaction to tragic accidents that happened. I know I didn't quite say it out loud what I was referring to. I made a video on traffic road safety analysis for Namibia with a focus on drivers, just because I felt like as drivers of the vehicles that end up in accidents or being involved in accidents, I think we could play our part into making the roads safer, a bit safer than they already are, because I really am still convinced that if we all drove well and in compliance to traffic rules, I think we can minimize accidents. Of course, the word accident suggests it's an accident, and I'm not here to say they are always preventable, but there are instances where it could have been really avoided if a few things were considered, maybe the condition of the vehicle, or whether the driver is fit, and all these things, not under the influence, and all that. So building on that, I just wanted to share a quick trick, a quick safety trick that I personally employ when I drive. When you get your driver's license, mostly, especially these days, when you get your driver's license, you mostly are not used to driving, especially if you didn't have a vehicle before then, or the way you are staying, maybe in your house there's no car. You just got a driver's license and you've never practiced your driving skills, so that makes your driving a bit rusty and lacking practice and experience. So the longer the person has been driving, I think the better their driving gets, especially if they're interested in bettering their skills and actually focused on what is supposed to be happening on the road. So I think I got my license, I think about 3 years ago, 2.5 or something like that. Yeah, I got it in the middle of 2019. I already knew how to drive a bit, but I didn't know much of everything in the roads. I have never even officially driven on the road. It's those things you go to a village, in the village, because I'm from the village, in the open space where you cannot cause any accident, and just practice a bit. Yeah, you are allowed to do that in the guidance of someone with a driver's license, if you hold a learner's license and all those things, as long as there are no passengers or anything you are carrying. But I see that when you're on the road, after now you get your driver's license, now you are legally allowed to drive on roads where everybody else is and all that. Here is the thing: it's not enough to just be in your car and say I'm complying. You have to do a lot of defense driving. I don't know how to define defense driving, and there's this thing of you actually driving more than one car with your mind. Yes, your mind should be focused on the road and your immediate surrounding, but you should also be able to judge what other drivers are about to do or doing. I know that sounds a bit crazy if you don't drive, but those that drive knows. For example, if you're approaching traffic lights that are green maybe, and you are maybe, let's say, 10 meters away, you judge already that maybe if you are to turn and the intersection, maybe it's a kind of 4-drive intersection, you have to check that is the person that is in the priority road like rushing to catch the green lights, so that when it's orange they are just driving through, because oranges must drive with caution. It's not a driving school, I'm just giving a practical example. If you drive, you will be able to get this. So if the person is, you can judge the speed of the car. You know when the car is slow and when it's fast approaching. So you know if this person is rushing to catch those green robots, you all cannot make that rashness. So it's like the judgment about your surrounding, fellow traffic, the traffic flow around you. So if the person is maybe coming to a standstill, then maybe you are safe to turn. But if you're both arrogant and you're all trying to be like, yeah, the robots are yellow for me, the robots are green for me, then you're most likely going to collide in the middle, and that's when an accident will happen. You see, this happens as traffic lights, 3 ways, 4 ways. There's always someone that feels like they're in a rush. There's always someone that feels like they came here first. There's always someone that feels like, I mean, I'm not saying at every intersection, but in most cases, there's always someone that feels like they have a right of way. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, and it's too late, but they don't want to wait again for another minute. Here is the rationale that I work with and say, it doesn't matter if I'm late. Jumping potentially dangerous robots or a stop is not going to help you get where you are going faster. You might get away with it 1 day, 3 days, whatever, but the day you don't get away with it, it will be already too late because the inevitable had happened, and you're going to have a lot to deal with. You're going to have a lot on your plate. Your vehicle might be damaged, loss of lives, and a lot. Maybe you might even wind up with a case at the police because they're probably going to investigate and find out who's at fault, who caused this, and so if you survive the accident, because not all accidents are fatal, then you face every consequence, financial implication, maybe hospitalization, maybe you even end up disabled, and those things. And to the contrary, you finally don't get to where you were rushing to. That 1 minute, that 130 seconds that you felt like was necessary for you to rush costed you almost the whole day. You'll be there waiting for a towing company, you'll be there waiting for the police, you'll be there, and days after that, depending on the severity of that accident and what happened actually to the passengers and the vehicles, you will know the drama and the craziness that you have to deal. So this is the trick. The trick is always think what is at stake versus what you're gonna lose. Most of the time you are just losing a minute of your time. So wherever you're rushing to, trust me, that place will still be there. If you'll be late, it's just 1 minute late. Yes, I know maybe there's 5 traffic lights on your way to wherever you're going, or 5 stops that could make it 5 minutes, but it's still better than arriving or not arriving at all, or getting in an accident that you can have avoided just by waiting. I'm not saying all accidents happen at intersections, but this is a big one that I always ask myself. And even when you're overtaking, you must always check, because overtaking is like a minute job as well. Like, you check, it's clear, but if you are so in a rush that you are overtaking at blind spots and curves where you cannot see what's coming, it's like you're on a suicide mission. Yeah, so that is the rationale. Always, what I'm trying to say is always evaluate. It's not like you have to sit down and do an academic evaluation. It's a judgment of when you are focused and really paying attention on the road. What is in front of you, what is behind you, what is coming to the side. Like, if you can judge that and make a safe passage without rushing, without making like really reckless decisions, because because my car can drive 300 kilometers per hour, I can overtake even when the other car is only 10 meters away. I'll make it. I trust my car. Hi, yes, I know why you're saying that. Maybe your car has carried you this far, but it doesn't make an announcement that today is the day you go in the accident. So the more cautious you are, the safer you become. I mean, there are other people that you can't control their driving, but if this could speak to every single driver, that would mean we have all drivers that are doing the right thing, the right decisions, and we have better roads. So like I said, I'm not a traffic officer. I said that in my previous video. I'm just a really concerned citizen, and we have lost so many lives on the road. I'm not saying it was anybody's fault. Mind you, I don't even have any reports of what happened at what accident. I'm just saying I see the risk behavior almost every single day. Every single day when you set out and start go behind the wheel, even if you are the most cooperative and most compliant driver to the traffic rules, it just takes somebody else not to comply, and that's it. Anything can happen, literally. So guys, let's do the right thing. Even if you don't have a vehicle now, you're gonna have it one day, you know. And if you probably feel like you're not gonna have it, you are still affected by the fact that you use a vehicle to get from one point to another. If you're not in a cab, you're in a bus, you're away. So this concerns us all. Yeah, thank you so much for watching up until now. I am hoping maybe whoever regulates the road safety reaches out to me. I'll be glad to work with them. I'm not trying to make life difficult for anyone. I already know Natas and everything story. I'm not saying that things must be hard. I'm saying we must just behave like we read the book, like we actually know what is the risk here, what is at stake here. When a human life is lost, it cannot be retrieved. Vehicles maybe can be bought, can be fixed, but this is a matter of life and death. And if it doesn't occur to you that way, then probably we have another problem at our hands. But okay, enough with the traffic, guys. I promise I'll come back with another topic that will ease all the tension about me going on about traffic. So see you now in that video.